Those are our only 3 Western teams. They are Backsquids, Olive, and Loki still in it at the moment. We're still waiting again. And Doggy Dog World, sorry. We're still waiting again on confirmation that Doggy Dog World and Loki. Still waiting on the status of those matches. But in any event, this match, I literally just had it pulled up. Okay. So this is the other side of the bracket.
Okay, so this is going to be splat zones to start out with, right?
I believe so. No, we're starting with Rainmaker.
Oh, okay. So this is
round 4.
This is round 4. Okay, cool.
Round 4 now between these 2 teams. No idea really what to expect.
Oh, that's actually cute. That's actually cute. Oh, maybe that is a roster. I think actually that is a roster. All right, let's see the sploosh action.
Oh, okay.
Entertain me, Q. It is a roster,
They
isn't
just
it?
typed...
Their team names?
That's their team name. Their team name is their roster. Yeah.
It's a pickup.
In any event, the purple side here of team name roster is going to go 3 down early, and this should allow the yellow team to come back in, gain control of mid here, and start to push forward. And we could very easily see a snowbally sort of a thing on Muscle Forge as soon as one of those teams starts going up the ramp.
Yep.
But it might take a little bit to get there.
Yeah, the ramp itself, like that 90-degree angle that the Rainmaker has to pass, that is the choke point, right? That is where these games are decided. So we still have some lethal bombs ready from Q's pickup right now. So this, yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna be kind of easily stopped on paper, and it is. So we see Q just like painting the map. You know, I think the comp is very important to point out that the members that were alive were both the Splat Bomb users, and that's what's going to make it really hard to get the Rainmaker past that kind of a choke point. And going on the left side of the map is a little bit easy to defend. So it's one of those things where you only really see it happen. Oh! Wow. Okay, you only really see it happen as like, oh, everybody's so out of position that we can go for this. And man, Q just in the enemy base doing work with that hammer. Now, the Rainmaker carrier is going to be taken out, and there's going to be a lot of trades back and forth. It's going to be end of that push, but nice little lead right there from Q's pickup. I don't think that that's a game-winning push, though. It's very easy to get the Rainmaker to that spot and get like those 3 points over actually being at the choke point that was gained. But we've seen both teams able to really put in work now, so we'll see how this ends up working out.
See how this ends up working out indeed. And, you know, we're 2 minutes into this match, and both teams have already had that push down to about 50 or so. And so this is going to be interesting to watch how this continues to develop, as it looks like we're starting to get into a little bit more of a stalematey position. And, okay, who's going to actually try to commit to make this push, and when are they going to do that? This L3 here trying to hold off the Rainmaker and the rest of these members on this yellow side. Has that baller going to be forced to pop that as well? But this Rainmaker still just kind of holding on, trying to get picks, being a little bit more patient. Now that Kbot coming up, not going to be able to get that pick. There's only one up on the side, and it is that sploosh that has to come in, but going to get taken out by that rush as well. That Inkjet gets popped. Trying to hopefully get a little bit more painting and a little bit of picks moving forward. That Rainmaker, though, is finally going to get taken out there at the 32-point mark, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the push here, coming out on the side of Shijin.
Yeah, let's accuse pickup was actually kind of feeding a little bit. You know, we saw a lot of kind of, not desperation, but a lot of like a one at a time, just trying to go in and trade with the Rainmaker kind of plays. And the one time that didn't happen is the time that Shinin Ranbu was able to make that big push, right? So, you know, that kind of thing, like if it doesn't work out, it's risky, and it didn't work out once, and then you know, we saw a push to 32. 32 is a little bit more of a winnable push, but at the same time, definitely possible to get past that. Again, this map, it really just comes down to, can you get past that one checkpoint? Because once you can, the kind of the sky's the limit as far as pushing goes.
Yep, indeed here. And now Q going to try to pick up the Rainmaker, but is immediately going to get taken out there. And so it's a 2-down situation on the side of the Q pickup. And now this yellow team in Shijin going to be able to hopefully push forward here. They're looking to try to get some map control pushing forward, but looks like the members of Q were in decent defensive position there in order to hold off that Rainmaker no matter where that kind of approach from. And now this Kensa machine sharking has that splashdown at the ready, is going to be able to get the pick, sorry. And now we got a minute left in the game here, and so Q's pickup going to have to get a couple more picks to push forward, but they're now 3 down, and this
Q?
may very well go the other way. Q gonna get taken out here. Sloshing Machine gonna go up. It's still a 3-down situation for them, and so looking to get pushing forward, not quite gonna be able to do that. Now a trade with the Rainmaker, only extending the lead to 29, but now this purple team has their work cut out for them severely. I mean, you're looking at how much paint control that this yellow team has.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of paint control for yellow. I mean, they've really been dominating the whole game. The only reason that, you know, they haven't really they haven't really been able to do more is because these attempts at trading with the Rainmaker and over again have, you know, worked enough times to stop the Rainmaker from getting knockouts. But I mean, it's still the lead, and I honestly kind of feel like Q's pickup kind of didn't really play this properly.
Perhaps not, and so looks like that is going to be game Shinin Ranbu going to be taking game 1 here. Our next mode, of course, is going to be Splat Zones, but in any event, you know, you might be commenting that they might be kind of going in for a little bit more of a solo approach, and that could be fair if this is
that could be why the Octobrush got 23 kills.
That could be why the Octobrush got 23 kills. It could also be that this is a pickup that we're talking about. They might not even be in voice comms with one another. I mean, we really don't know. There's no way of knowing for sure. But there.
So you're saying that we're watching the Japanese Squid Box?
Maybe. I mean.
But yeah, no.
Who really knows for sure?
Yeah, not trying to kind of degrade the skill of the players in this match right now. I just think that the strategy employed wasn't quite the best. I mean, at the same time, when you're running a sploosh, sometimes the only thing that you can do is just go for the element surprise, just quickly get the kill before people can really respond to the fact that you don't have the range to hold up in a neutral situation. But we kind of saw the Pro and some of the other weapons kind of doing the same thing. So it's kind of okay for the rest of the weapons to be stable and have the sploosh just kind of going in headlong. But I think when multiple people are just kind of like going for trades and not really holding up map control, that's when you are going to have things happening like that. Octobrush has taken advantage of it and, you know, just basically treating it like, okay, well, you're feeding me now. I see what you're doing. I'm just going to, you know, let you kill the Rainmaker. I'm going to get a double every time, and we're going to just slowly just keep map control. Oh, so these guys were on a team before.
Yeah. Ganba being our resident Japanese team expert over here. It looks like 3 of them were on a team before. But again, I mean, so they have played before, but who knows if they're actively using voice callouts or actively communicating. They could be, they could not be. Or they could just be trying to employ a different strategy. I mean, to be fair, you know, against what they were dealing with, sometimes when your team is 3 down and you've got your sploosh in hand, there's not a ton that you can do except try to rush in there and hope for the best. But, you know, as you mentioned, maybe fading a little bit. In any event, we are going to Splat Zones next, and so might be a little bit easier to make.
This is definitely a different map mode combo. And, you know, it could have just been, you know, a little bit of misplays. You know, sometimes you,
Sure.
Sometimes, you know, in retrospect, it's like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. But that Octobrush still coming out. If Gamba could tell us exactly what that Octobrush's name is, I think that dropping a 23 bomb in round 4 of a big tournament like this is something worth being noted for. But yeah, so we see right off the bat a lot of kills back and forth. A brush on both sides, by the way, mind you. So I will say that Q's pickup team is employing a comp that is a little bit low on the slaying side. They have the brush, they have the L3, and they have the junior. Now, of course, good teams can get kills with all of these weapons, but there's no real just like straightforward, easy pull the trigger slaying weapon on their side. So they're really going to have to outplay the enemy a lot and make really good use of the kits of their weapons to be able to pull forward, you know, using like the double baller to get zone over and over again, stuff like that. We've seen these kind of matchups before, like the more solid slaying comp versus the we're just going to get zone over and over again comp. So we'll see how that plays out so far. It looks like it's working out. The pickup is able to kind of get the map control. They're able to start getting hold, and now it is up to Shinin Ranbu to really make some kind of a comeback here. They do have an inkjet ready. Mm-hmm.
That pickup had, like you mentioned, oh yeah, they were able to get map control. They had a sizable portion of map control there, and of course, anytime you're able to get more control around zone, always going to be better. It forces your opponents to paint more, and now it's a kind of a delayed wipe actually coming on the side of Shijin Ranbu, and so this pickup looking in very strong position to go ahead and take this knockout.
Yeah, I don't know how they can take it, right? Like, what are they going to do?
Right, what are they going to do, especially when they have all of this map control to put up with?
Double
trying to
ball?
come in a zone, 2 ballers just holding on to the zone, popping it there at the end. That's going to be game. Very quick game going back the other way. Maybe this pickup, nothing to be scoffed at. Again, maybe the other game was just a fluke, weren't playing it quite right. But they definitely know how to play splat zones. They definitely know how to play splat zones on Humpback. They were able to just overall dominate control of that of the map, and looking at those compositions in hindsight, it seems natural that they'd be able to control the map like they did.
Yeah, and so Gamba coming in with the experts, so they are in VC, and Q's been kind of lost at what weapons to play since dualies were nerfed, and that kind of makes sense, right? Like, not necessarily nerfed as much as they've definitely been out of the meta for a little bit, so I could see Q kind of not knowing exactly what kind of weapon to play. But I'm here to have fun, and I will say that this is proof that Sploosh is not high tier. But we'll see what's going on here. So now we're going into Game 3, which is going to be Clan Blitz on Port Mackerel. So this is a map mode that we've seen plenty of times before. It can be an odd one. It can definitely be an odd one. So, I want to hear what your take is on this, because there's plenty of takes to be had about this map mode.
There's plenty of takes. Well, so for one, it's obviously flat. It's a great place for Stingrays, a great place for Tenebrellas controlling those corridors. Anytime you can kind of shut down one of those corridors, whether you're on offense or defense, that'll allow you to either push forward as far as you can, is like pretty far, judging how long those corridors are, or it won't allow your opponents to push in further if you're completely controlling one of those with a Stingray, with a Tenebrella, or what have you. And so we could be seeing some of that coming out from both sides here. But overall, anytime you're able to do that, you can kind of control the direction that your opponents are moving, depending on how you play this map.
Yep. Now, I want to see... Okay, so is that an Octobrush Nouveau? Let's see, I can't quite tell. Oh, no, it's not. But no. There is a ballpoint. So what I was going to say is that both of these teams have shown willingness to use brushes. And something that brushes can do that's a little bit unique on this map compared to some other weapons is the brush can get like way up on the top of the sides of the enemy side of the map. And once you start getting beacons and stuff there, it starts to get really obnoxious. And this is one of the levels where Octobrush Nouveau is actually good. And because it can get up on the enemy base, start putting beacons there, and then you can start jumping in. It's just so hard to get them out. But we see the vanilla Octobrush, but we also see the ballpoint. So the ballpoint can just jump in, put the beacons up, and start the process. Anyway, we'll see if that ends up actually happening. Right now, Q's pickup does kind of lose the opening gambit right now. We see map control by Shijin Ranbu. And yeah, not really anything working towards a push yet, though.
The interesting thing that I was watching there from Q's pickup is that both of their ballers went ahead and popped extremely early. They didn't have a power claim. They didn't have anything. I think they were trying to establish control of, that barrier and trying to look for those extra couple of claims in order to make that push happen. But now it looks like the side of Shinin Ranbu looking for that a little more conservative push, waiting until they have all those claims at the ready. It's a 3-down situation on the side of Q's pickup, but this Inkjet looking to take a command and control of this barrier area. Now, finally, this brush...
area.
Yeah, wow. Words. I told you all, it's too early in the morning. Anyway, that Ink Brush trying to be a little bit... Or Octobrush, I should say, trying to be a little pesky. Did get a couple more claims in, but didn't have the full support of their team there. And now it looks like Q's pickup going to be able to nearly respond. They do have a jump coming in. But there is one football that's just kind of left there at the basket. That's going to be a 3-down situation, so it's only going to be a 1 football push.
Yeah, we definitely see a lot of difficulty out of Q's pickup to just really just slay consistently, right? Like they're making the pushes, but they seem to just kind of drop in numbers every time they go for it. Still plenty of time left to go in the game though, so they have a lot of opportunities to kind of to put together a push that's going to win the game. But what we've seen so far, except for that last game wasn't very long, but they've been kind of having a little bit of trouble just staying alive as a large group. See how this is able to work out. This is a full wipe, though. This is exactly what they needed. So immediately they're able to adjust. They get the clam in. They're very close to getting the lead. They just need to get some people up here with more clams. They weren't able to quite get enough clams to get the lead. There they go.
They finally go with a lead. I was about to say, they do have that Booyah Bomb at the ready, able to be popped whenever, and it looks like that is going to be popped. Actually, that K-Pro going to be pushing all the way up into their opponent's base, but it's a 3-down, maybe a delayed wipe going the other way, and so only going to be a 10-point lead at the moment. And so that can be easily responded by a Power Clam +2 or 3 for change, but still going to be a push nonetheless that the side of Shinin Ranbu has to put together in order to take this game.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously the way that this game works, these kinds of leads aren't like game-winning, so you need to keep up the pressure. But we definitely saw the we saw the adjustment from Q's pickup. I think that Shinin Ranbu has honestly been playing really well, so that they don't really need to do too much more adjusting as much as they just need to have at least one more good push and kind of keep up the offense. We'll see how it ends up working out. The Power Clam is moving forward, but Q is able to stuff that.
2-down situation, though, on the side of Q's pickup. That Inkjet going to try to look for a couple more picks. That's another 2-down situation that's going to allow that Power Clam to come in, and that will allow those extra 2 or 3 claims to come in as well. They're looking to get a couple more in, and they do for the moment. A couple more coming in indeed from that NZAP and the Kenset machine. Finally now going all down. 18 points, and so that's 2 power claims at this point now, I believe. The push going the other direction. They have a minute left to put that together, but we really haven't seen such a large high-scoring push here, to the extent of 2 power claims in a lot of cases in this game. But now it looks like this football coming in, and so that will be the start of what they need. Of course, that Stingray is at the ready to try to control
the jump in.
One of these quarters.
No!
Here's the jump in. Not going to be able to throw that power claim in. It's a 3-down situation, and so still coming up just a little bit short is this side of Q and company.
This is really bad for Q and company, right? Because not only did they not gain the lead there, but they went for like the classic suicide push and to give the enemy team clams and the ability to go for a counter push, but they didn't even get the lead out of it. So this is really rough. They did do the right thing. They kept the custom jet alive. They're starting to Stingray. They're trying to push up before overtime starts. It's really smart. They get a pick. Are they going to get another pick? The Ink Rush is jumpable. He gets the double kill. There we go!
Double kill. That's going to be a wipe on the side. That will indeed be the lead. They're just going to unload the rest of the clams, and that is going to be the game.
Whew, man. For a second there, I was almost expecting that to be a situation where, oh man, the Stingray is going to choke. He's not going to get those picks. And then it's just going to start overtime, and they're not going to be able to get anything going. They're going to, like, open the basket and not be able to get anything in, and, like, the score, like, the timer's going to end or something bad like that. But no, that was really big plays from Q's pickup. That was a super close game. They were definitely looking a little bit shaky. They were looking like they were having difficulty with what the opponent was throwing at them. But then, man, just right at the end there, they were able to put that together and just completely turn that into a win. So really big stuff by Q's pickup. I know that Q has a lot of fans, and they're pretty happy to see him get to, what is this going to be, round 5?
Yeah, round 5 is what they just went in for, and so that's the quarterfinal round.
Awesome. So we have not that many teams left in the tournament at this point, right? Like, what do we have left?
At this point, we're starting to narrow down. We're in, I believe that was one of our first matches just to finish from round 4. And so looking ahead, we're starting to transition into our top 8. Notable teams that you might recognize left are Doggy Dog World did beat Kobayashi in round 3. And so they're moving on to round 4. We have at least one more Western team still alive. Of course, the Back Squids versus Olive Set is happening right now at the moment.
Wow.
Between those two teams, Low-Key did get taken out this round in round 4. They went on. They won their round 3 match, but got taken out in round 4, and so they will be finishing in the tie for 9th as well. And so those are our only 3 Western teams left at this point